Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ. So today we're looking at cloud mining. We're going to be checking out whether cloud mining is for you and how much of a gamble cloud mining is. So keep watching.
Hey guys, okay, so right now, the Bitcoin price is remaining high, even after a slight drop, and this is once again creating interest in crypto, which is great. The thing is though, you need to make sure if you're investing wisely. We've had quite a few DMs and PMs asking about cloud mining, and RJ will be going through the pros and cons for you guys to make an informed decision about using these sites. Also remember, if you have any comments or questions, post them below the video, and if this is your first time visiting RJ's channel and you want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, crypto investments, and lots of other crypto-related stuff, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're alerted to all of his new content as it comes online. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so thanks a lot to Jessie for that great intro. And yes, like she says, we have been getting a lot of PMs and DMs, particularly asking about cloud mining. That is why I'm making this video. Now, for those of you that have followed my channel for quite some time, you know that I've looked at cloud mining, I've tinkered around with it, I've bought contracts, and you know, we are going to look at the results today, especially for those of you that are new to crypto, have not got a lot of experience with cloud mining, and I'm going to talk about it, you know, like Jessie mentioned, the pros and the cons, and then you can make a decision as to whether it's really for you or are there better alternatives. Now, the first thing you can see on the screen is we are looking at the Bitcoin price. Now, obviously, if we look back a month ago, you can see here it was as high as 73. Then there has been quite a drop off. Basically, it's dropped by about 10k. Now, the reason for this, I believe, is partially maybe for traders that have basically cashed out. They've just decided, right, that's enough profit for me, I'm going to take that. But also, as I've mentioned in the past, you get a lot of people that invest into crypto that don't know a whole lot about it, and then they get nervous. So, you know, they've probably might well have invested, let's say when it was at, I don't know, 40,000 or something that wasn't too far back. They've invested at that. It's then gone up to 73, and rather than sort of ride it out, they've panicked and they've just sold, and it's just like before it, you know. And that's actually, those two things, traders and panic selling, is what I believe has led to this drop of $10,000 per coin. But the nice thing is, it hasn't really continued to drop. It sort of stayed there, you know. It's like, even if we look back 5 days, you're 67, 66, and then it's starting to go back up to 65 here. Obviously, we're around that 64, 65 mark. And I think basically what you're looking at now is the remaining people are people like myself that just hodl and hold the coins, and the other people are experienced people that know how the markets work, and they also know that with the halving coming, that the price could continue to go up. So that is why I think we're at this sort of almost like a level playing field, that it's just sort of staying around about that same price over the last few days. But the thing is one thing, especially to new people to crypto, because the halving is coming, because Bitcoin has dramatically gone up in price over the last few months, what you're going to start seeing is more and more scams popping up, because they know, the scammers know, that basically most people, they want it quick. They want to invest their money, and the next day they want to be billionaires, and they will catch you. They will promise you these things. They will say, invest with us and we're going to give you a return of 5% daily, 2% daily, 10% daily, essentially percentages that cannot realistically be achieved and certainly not maintained. So just be vigilant of any sites that you look at now and going forward, because like I say, there's going to be a lot popping up. If you come across a site and you think, this looks really good, basically what you want to do is go into a site called Whois. So if you go into like here and just type in domain info, and then it's going to give you this. And then the cool thing with that is you can type it in. You can type in any address into their search, and it's going to give you basically a quick analysis on things like when the domain name was registered, when it was last updated, when it will expire, and things like that. And if it shows that the domain name is only like a few weeks old, maybe even only a month or so old, which might have been at the beginning of when Bitcoin started, the price started to go up, be very wary. Be very, very wary of sites that have not been around a long time, especially with the market the way it is, because I will tell you 99% that is probably going to be a scam site that, like I say, they will look legit. The site will look beaut. They will say, they might even say, oh, we've got white papers, we've got roadmaps, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff that can be very easily put together by a skilled person that would develop this site. But at the end of the day, all it's about is getting you to invest and then basically robbing you and taking your money. And sometimes, it will go on for months, and the thing is you'll see your account increasing and you'll think, brilliant, absolutely great, everything's going well. And then either the site will disappear, or when you decide to try and make a withdrawal, suddenly you can't. Suddenly your account gets suspended or gets banned or something like that, and then you're just left in a real mess. So like I say, just be very, very careful nowadays with the way things are going with the market, because it does breed these kind of scams. Okay, so when it comes to cloud mining, obviously the site I always use and have used many times in the past, and you guys have seen me using this site, is Hashing24. Now, Hashing24 has been around for absolutely years. It's one of the few sites that actually did weather the really bad drop when Bitcoin went from 20-odd thousand down to about 3,000. A lot of sites like this basically just disappeared because basically the way they had set up their business plan, obviously this is me guessing, but I believe the way they set their business plan up was they didn't think that Bitcoin would drop. They just based their business plan on Bitcoin staying at 20,000 or continuing to go up. And as soon as it dropped, their business plan just fell to bits and they just shut up shop, and no end of people lost money with that. And, even sites that had been around for quite a while just couldn't handle that drop in price and the fact that it stayed there for so long before it ever moved again. So Hashing24 for me is a legit site. It is a stable site, but when it comes to cloud mining itself, there are ups and downs. Now, before we get into the site and me just sort of explaining a few things, again, going back to other sites that you might come across. So basically, if a site says to you, they are promising you a certain percentage return every day, that is not a legit cloud mining site. That is what I class as a virtual cloud mining site. So basically what that is a site something like DualMine or trying to think of another one. But basically what they do is they base your returns purely on a mathematical equation. So although the site might look very representative of Hashing24, looks very similar. You buy your contracts, you know, obviously you invest your money, and then you're on a daily basis, you will see this return. But if the return is the same every single day, that is, like I say, that is virtual cloud mining. That is based on a mathematical equation, and basically the thing is with those, a lot of them are scams. So because, like I say, especially if a site is promising you a really high percentage return, that is most likely a scam. So again, just things to consider. Now with Hashing24, you are buying a contract for X amount of, in this case, terahash, and you will not see a constant return. Daily it will fluctuate because that is based on the price of the coin that you are mining. So that's why you see the fluctuation. Like I say, because it's actually based on prices on the marketplace and the fact that you are actually renting legit mining machines. It's not just fake, essentially. So basically with this is what you will see when you first come in here and you're looking at a new contract. Now there are a couple of things on the calculator here that you can tinker around with. I will always say base your, you know, because obviously you can change this. So it says, you know, if Bitcoin goes up to 97.5k, you can click on that and then it's going to give you, you know, work it out based on that price. So you're always better to base it on the current price. And then here it says the difficulty. Now, for those of you that don't know what the difficulty is, basically that is also a sort of a mathematical equation based on how many people are mining that coin. Now, the more people that mine the coin, the higher the difficulty it gets, because with Bitcoin, there is X amount of coins. I can't remember what it is. It's something like 121,000 coins or something like that. It could be, yeah, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I've really looked into this. So anyway, there's X amount of coins that can be dispersed to the miners. And basically the reason why that difficulty becomes harder is so that amount of coins dispersed over that particular set amount of time continues to remain the same. Because obviously if there was not any kind of equation or difficulty to slow down the distribution of coins or the creation of new coins, then those 121,000 or whatever it is would have been mined years ago. They all would have been mined years ago, but it was meant to take place over a certain length of time. And then obviously the point of the halving, which I made a quick minute video, which I posted on my channel yesterday. For those of you that aren't quite sure what the halving is and what it entails, go and check that out. Go into my channel, go into shorts, check out that 1 minute video about the halving, and you're going to get a quick glimpse of what it's about. But essentially, it's every 4 years, the amount of coins in a block that can be mined halves. Now, the point of that is to essentially increase the rarity value of Bitcoin. Now, this is why Bitcoin became known as crypto gold, because just like gold, it has a huge rarity value, and therefore that's what keeps the price high. And then the halvings is essentially a false way of doing that, sort of a man-made way of creating that rarity. So that's what that's about. But like I say, for a quick, it's about a 45-50 second video. Go and check that out. It just gives you a little bit more information. So anyway, with the difficulty, also what I would set, it will be set automatically to the minus 20%, which you don't really want to, because what that would mean for that to happen, that would mean that numerous miners, people that are mining Bitcoin, would essentially have to leave the network for that difficulty to suddenly become a lot easier. And at the end of the day, with the price going up as it is, that's unlikely to happen. So anyway, we set that to current. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to calculate here what your return will be. So on a 1 terahash contract, which is 12 months, that's going to give you 105% return. Now, obviously, we can look at that in euros, and then we can look at that in BTC, so you know exactly the amount of coins that you're going to get back. And obviously, as well, the bigger contract you get with a 5 terahash, you're going to get a 1% discount on the volume. So essentially, it will cost you less to get that contract. And at 10%, you're going to get at 10 terahash, you're going to get a 2% discount. 25 terahash, 3%, 50 terahash, 4%, and 100 terahash, you're going to get a 5% discount. Now, all of that sounds absolutely brilliant. And you think, well, a 5 to 10 terahash, maybe that's something I want to get into with the terahash as well. It's going to give you an extra percent on your profit, essentially on your return. You're going to get an extra percent. But the thing is, and this is the con, or the downside of one of the downsides of cloud mining is because Bitcoin and all crypto markets fluctuate so much that it's very easy to get into these while they're high, while the price is high, and you think cloud mining, brilliant. I can just invest my money. I don't have to do anything with it. I'll just check on it daily to make sure everything's going okay. And that is all I need to do. And then after 12 months, I'm going to make a nice profit. But the thing is the way cloud mining works, that your profit can be affected if the coin goes down. Now, obviously, a lot of you will say, well, that's obvious. But also with cloud mining, your profit can be affected if the coin actually goes up as well. Basically, the perfect scenario for cloud mining is to get your contract and then essentially you hit a bear market and the price stays the same for an entire 12 months, which is so unlikely to happen. You guys that follow the crypto markets, you know how much on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, any coin will fluctuate. So for a 12-month plan, for you to get through that with very, very little fluctuations that do not affect your profit is very, very unlikely. So in that sense, cloud mining, especially for a 12-month plan, it is quite a gamble. It is quite a gamble, and it is very easy to lose. Now, obviously, if Hashing24 offered something like a 6-month contract or a 3-month contract or even a month-to-month contract, that would be a lot more inviting, because obviously you could check the market, you can think, okay, we're at a relative, the price is pretty much staying around about the same. I could get a month contract, I could dump a couple of $100 into that, and then I'm most likely going to get the profit that the calculator is telling me. But over a 12-month period, that 106% can change dramatically onto what your return will be. Now, what I'm going to show you is my past contracts. So if we go in here, okay, so you'll see here I have no active contracts right now. But if we go into finished, you'll see the contracts that I have had. Now, if we see the first one, this was the first contract I ever did, which was in the 26th of May 2019. Now, you'll see it showed that I actually stopped it. Now, the reason for that is basically because Bitcoin dropped so far that the profit or what I was mining wouldn't even cover the fees. So basically all that was happening was what I was mining essentially was being taken as fees. So, you know, I was losing all the time. So what I did was I actually stopped the contract, and then that is what I got left with, which is less than 200,000 Satoshis. Now, the next one I took, which was this, the 3rd of March 2021. If we click on that. Now, here you can see that we paid 539,532, and we made, after total, was 702,971. And we totally earned $459. So that essentially was a success because we earned more than we paid for the contract. So that, in a sense, was a success, but it's not a huge amount. When you think that took a year to come away with, that is not a huge amount of money. Really, for what you invest and then what you get back, it's not a huge amount of money. And then, like I say, you're always running this risk that should the coin tank, or even, like I say, even if it goes up by a certain amount, it will affect your profit. So if we go back to the final one, so this was Jan 2022 to Jan 2023. Click on here. Now you'll see we paid 816,000, so nearly 900,000 Satoshis, but we only came away with less than 700,000 Satoshis, 448. So again, it was slightly more. Instead of being a 3 terahash, I upped it to a 4.5 terahash. And that was not successful at all. And like I say, if you look down here, and this is what I'm talking about. So like I said, with real cloud mining, you will see that how our income fluctuates. It fluctuates quite dramatically. Like here, you're at 1688 here. Up here, you're at 1527. Down here, you're at 1675. Here, you're at 1611. And the reason why it fluctuates is basically because of how the coin is fluctuating on the market. Whereas those virtual cloud mining sites that I talked about, you will never see a fluctuation because they're saying to you, we will give you a guaranteed 2% every day. 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it is, you will get that, or you think you get that. You will see the numbers in your account. But like I say, when it comes to actually withdrawing those coins, sometimes they ban your account. They suspend your account. They make it very difficult. And like I say, they can also just close up shop, walk away with your coins and everybody else's coins, and you will never see them again. That is the risk with crypto. The markets are extremely volatile, and it is also a very high risk investment. And also as well, I have to say, obviously, what I'm telling you and what I'm showing you is purely from my experience. I'm showing you my contracts. I am not a professional trader. I'm not a professional person within the crypto space. So what I'm telling you is not investment advice. I'm merely trying to open your eyes to what is possible, but also, in the sense of a positive, but what is also possible on a negative. And the thing is as well, if you are looking to invest in any program, whatever program it is, make sure you're only ever using money you can afford to lose. Now, I always think that sounds quite funny because obviously my YouTube channel is all about earning crypto online. So why are we talking about money we are prepared or we can afford to lose? Because the thing is, nothing is 100% guaranteed. None of these sites are necessarily going to be there the next day or the day after that. Basically anything can change overnight. So if you're investing in any program, always make sure you're only using money that is spare cash. Don't use money that you've got put aside for rent, car payments, your groceries, your kids' college fund. Because even though these sites look very inviting, and the sites that I promote on my channel will bring you a return, they're not going to make you a millionaire overnight. So just be aware of that. And like I say, anything can change at any time. So you can come into these sites, make your investment, and a few months down the line, they can be gone. So like I say, only use money you can afford to lose. That is just, just use your common sense. Don't go crazy if you're putting money into any site. So the thing is as well, what you've got to realize with things like Hashing24 and stuff like that is, as I say, the return after 12 months is not huge. It's not massive. It's a few 100,000 satoshis, but which is taking you 12 months to get. Admittedly, that's 12 months of not having to do anything. But then, like I show on this contract, we lost out. But, other sites that we use or that I promote on my channel, such as mining blocks, such as Contract Miner, such as Rollercoin, all of these sites, you can earn this kind of return in a shorter period of time, but you have to put work into them. That's the only difference. For me, cloud mining is a lazy investment, but it's also a risky investment because it does rely on the market essentially pretty much staying at a status quo for you really to get the most out of your contract. And like I say, over a 12-month period, that is very unlikely to happen, especially now because leading into the halving, we can see the price is going up. And a lot of times it will go up towards the halving because of basically what the halving represents. But then it can also dramatically drop after the halving finishes. So like I said, if you got a contract now, yes, according to the calculator, you're going to get 106% profit on a 10 terahash contract. But let's say after the halving, it drops right back down to where we were or even lower. So you could be looking, it going down to like 40,000 to 30,000, whatever, depending on how many people sell at its highest point. Or the other thing, which is what I think will happen, is that it will continue to stay at a high level now. Because like I said a while back, I believe that basically most of the people that would panic sell have been flushed out. Obviously, that is just my opinion. So again, that is not me saying everything's going to be fine. Go and invest your money into Bitcoin and you're going to make a load of money. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying in my opinion, that I think that a lot of the panic sellers and people that invested in crypto in the past are no longer in the crypto market. Because the thing is as well, let's say you invested at 30,000. Yeah, let's say you bought one Bitcoin at 30,000. It went up to 73,000. You sold, you made a nice bundle there. But then it dropped down to 64,000. Well, to get back into that market, essentially you're going to have to spend everything that you've just got back. So just to get that one coin again, because you invested at 30,000, it's now 34,000 more than you invested at. Yes, you sold at 73, but still to get back into the market, it's a lot more. You've just gained a nice bundle. Do you really want to risk that on the possibility it might go to 100,000? I think that's a big risk, and I think a lot of people that have got out now will not get back in. Because I think that now it's hit this height, I think it will sort of remain and stay here. But like I say, that's my opinion. And also the fact that once the halving passes, in past years when we've had a halving, I think even the last halving we had 4 years ago, it did quite dramatically drop after the halving. So like I say, you got to be aware of these things and don't just make the assumption that because it's gone up, it's going to stay there or it's going to continue to go up. So like I say, you just got to be wary, be mindful, keep checking what's going on in the market. And like I say, especially now these prices are high, make sure if you're investing in a site, do your own research. Don't rely on me. Don't rely on other influencers that are telling you to go and sign up to this site. Obviously, I do my research and I always try and bring the best programs to you. This is why, and I've said this in the past, a lot of times it goes a long while before I actually introduce a new program, because I'm sieving through all those scam sites. I'm doing research. I'm checking everything out possible. So when I do bring a new site to you guys, I'm pretty confident everything's going to be okay. And, we can put our money into these things, or at least our time and our effort into these things, and everything should be cool. And we should all benefit from those. And obviously I'm not going to name names. Not all influencers in the crypto space do that kind of research. And they will just basically throw a site at you, which might be popular at a time, to get some refs, to get some referral commissions. And they probably will never ever do any kind of follow-up videos to a site like that, to a site that they've done. And it's just, get in on this site, blah, 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 blah. I've invested this, blah, 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 blah. It's going to do really, really well, blah, 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 blah. You guys go and invest in it. They make a ton of commissions. They get their money back. And then when the site goes down, they don't care because they've got their money back and probably a bit extra. But if you check out my channel, and for those of you guys that I'm so thankful for that have been with me for many, many years, I always do follow-up videos. I constantly am showing you how my account is doing, how I'm progressing, everything. If a site is then I feel is a scam, I will make a video saying, yes, this is definitely a scam and why it is a scam. So like I say, just be vigilant and, be mindful of what is going on out there. Now, obviously, I know I've been talking for a while, but we're going to just quickly look into a site that someone, let me find them, their name, a viewer of mine from Indonesia brought attention to me, a site that they've been using, and I quickly looked into it, and to be quite honest, I'm a bit wary about the site, to be quite honest, and I want to bring this to you. So it's Alex Lai, is that 6673 from Indonesia, and they're using a site called TYT Tron Mining. So basically, I did look into this. So if you go, okay, so TYT Tron Mining, TYT Mining. So apparently the New York Post and the Nation paper, whoever the Nation paper is, I have no idea. But the New York Times Post, I'm not sure that's legit either. Both of these sites are going on about how great this is. But the thing is, if you read the articles, they are virtually identical. And also you'll notice no other, it's not being covered by any other newspaper. I mean, it's, but like I say, if you read those articles, they almost read exactly the same, which is not good. So I can't remember which one it is in. It might be this one. And the fact that as well, so this is the fact that they're putting ref links or registration links in a newspaper, an online newspaper, is, I would say, is a bit weird as well. But we're just gonna essentially, no, this is this is what they're saying is the official website. Now, I have asked Alex if he could actually post for me the website he is using, she is using. Obviously, Alex could be a female name, but they haven't come back to me. So I've said, look, could you post the website that you were using so I can make sure I'm looking at the right site? So Tron TYT, I have no idea if that is correct, but when I type in TYT Mining, it doesn't come up with a site. So anyway, this is apparently the official site. Now, and this is what I'm talking about. These sites, they can make look really nice. And you've got an Enter app, which I'm sure if you click on that, it will ask you to sort of connect with your wallet. And then you'll go down here and it's telling you loads of stuff, blah, 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 blah. But one of the things that sort of stood out to me is if I click on this, it takes you to this site, and then I instantly get this pop up from my antivirus. It says here URL blacklisted, and that is obviously part of what they're saying is the official website. So for me, that is not a good start. For starters, that is really not a good start. And then if we go to take this, which is obviously apparently the official website, we go here. I don't use this a lot because I'm still a bit wary about whether this site is that great. But if we type in here, it just gives you an idea. If we type in here, click search, something will happen, I'm hoping. Here we go. Right, so the trust score is 11. So if we scroll down here, it says, so they did find an SSL certificate, and it's saying the DNS filter labels site as safe. The things here, I mean, the who is thing, the owners are generally always hidden, no matter what site it is, mostly. I don't know what the Tranco rank is, but it's based on how much traffic is going to the site, which apparently is not that high. And as it says here, crypto services detected, which high risk, which, as I mentioned earlier in the video, dealing with crypto, it is a high risk thing, especially if you're looking to trade it and things like that. And then it says, we discovered mainly negative reviews for this site. The age of this site is very young, which is another thing I said to you about looking out for sites. If they're their name, which you can find it on their Whois, if that is registered pretty recently, which we can go and check that out. So if we go, I always put domain info, because if I put, it's probably if I spelt it right. If I put Whois, there's a couple of versions of Whois, and this is the one that you want. So if we go paste, click, so it says here, registered on the 23rd of December last year, so right at the end of last year, and then it expires on the December this year, and was updated on the 21st of December. So it was registered on the 8th, updated on the 21st, and it expires on 08/24. So yeah, so I mean, that is literally, I mean, what are we in, March? So what's that, like 3 months, 4 months old? That is really not a site that I would suggest that you invest in, purely because based on that, because normally, you know, if it's always best to leave a site at least maybe a year, really. I mean, I was going to say 6 months to a year, but a year. If a site is still around after a year and it looks good, it's maybe worth dropping a bit into it. But or even, obviously, if they, you know, I'll always say, if they have a free option, then use the free option. You don't necessarily have to invest in these programs. Every program I bring to you guys usually will have a free option. So obviously that is what I would say. Take the free option, maybe use that for 6 months. So after 6 months, the site would have been around for a year and a half. If it's still looking good and you think, you know, I would like to invest in that, then put a little bit in. But don't go crazy, especially for even with a site that's been around for a year and a half. The first virtual mining site I ever promoted was a site called Miner Farm. That was around for 3 years and then it disappeared. So you don't know, and this is what I'm talking about, is that you never know what is going to happen and nothing is guaranteed. So anyway, from this, just quickly looking at it, obviously I've not looked at it a whole lot. I don't think there's an address we can look at. Let's have a look. Customer service, that might give us some info. So the fact that customer service hotline is in, I mean, what is that? I mean, that's not, it's funny, isn't it? Is the fact that everything is in English on the site except the customer service is not in English. Also as well, personally, anything that uses Telegram or WhatsApp, for me, anything using Telegram, WhatsApp, all that stuff. I mean, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I think is okay. But WhatsApp, Telegram, anything that uses those, I am always extremely wary about. And also as well, look at this. This is what I was talking about. TYT mining is a managed operational model. All miners used the most advanced mining machines ensure stable profits, which I was saying that is not actual cloud mining, that is virtual cloud mining, between 2%, 16% per day. That is insane. That is not that. I mean, they're saying, you know, that reasonable distribution of profits to maximize profits. No, that 16%, even if that is like, you know, you've probably got to buy the highest contract possible to get that, which is probably going to be a large amount of money. Those percentages in the real world are not obtainable and certainly not sustainable. So, like I say, just looking at this, obviously I am doing this as sort of like a reply back to a viewer, but it's also showing you guys that if you come across this site or hear about this site, I personally would say just steer clear of it. Do not invest in this site. I'm not gonna smack a label of scam on it. I'm just going to say, do not invest in this site. There's too many things about this site that just bother me, that I would not advise anybody to use this site whatsoever. Also, to Alex, am I looking at the right? Is this the website you are using? And if not, can you forward me? Maybe join my Discord. Which you can find the link in the description. Drop me a DM if the site is different. If there's a different site that you're using as opposed to trontyt.com, if you're using a different site, join my Discord or send me a DM through Facebook and send me the actual site you're using and I will look at that. But this site here, do not use. I would say do not use this site, because it's just, there's just too many red flags on this and I would just steer clear of it. Okay, anyway, I am going to leave that there. I hope you found that helpful and informative. If you can smash that like button, please, it really does support my channel, which then helps me make more content to help you. So take care, have a great rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.